All right, counter is going. We're hot. It's a beautiful day at Casa Verde.
It is
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Monday afternoon. This is
New.
This is weird. This is odd. Welcome to ShiftLess, the podcast that's only about
Coolers.
utility, commercial kitchen appliances.
Set this over here for you guys.
We
Yeah, you're right.
get that right there. Oh, I'm spilling water on myself. We have a guest today, Bradford.
Mr. Austin Whittington, the winner of the Rouge Roubaix. Yep, I'm back.
2026 Rouge Roubaix champion. Is it overall only, or do they do age breaks and stuff there too, or how does it work?
There was a master's category,
Yeah.
but I got the overall.
Your overall Sean of number one of everyone.
That's
Was
right.
that your first time at Rouge Roubaix?
Third time?
Third time. Okay.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
for those that aren't familiar, give a description of what Rouge Roubaix is and the notoriety of it and things like that.
Rouge Roubaix is a Roubaix course, historically a Roubaix course, which is mainly pavement with sections of gravel throughout 100 miles out of St. Francisville, Louisiana, about an hour out of Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
That's where the name comes from.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, great area. It's always an awesome race to go to in the early spring. But yeah, historically it's been a bunch of high level road racers there, and that's kind of shifted to more gravel focus now. Where before it would be maybe 20 miles of gravel, and now it's almost 50.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I remembered historically the gravel section was like 15, 20 miles. It was like not even a quarter of the course. you know?
Right. So now the way you got more miles out of it is he does a out and back on the gravel section. So we go gravel out, then do a big loop, and then hit those same roads coming back. So
it's like a lollipop.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Huh. So what was I know, back up just a little bit. You were supposed to go, you were planning to go do Doom, which would have mean you wouldn't have done Rouge Roubaix, right? Or was Rouge
No.
Roubaix already on your radar?
Rouge Roubaix was on the radar. It is 2 weeks after Doom, or
Okay.
before Doom rather. Excuse me.
Okay.
So we still went to Doom. I caught a sinus infection and I rode as far as I could on Doom. I almost got 30 miles, but
Yeah.
so 10% didn't make
Yeah.
it very far. But it was fun what I could do. We already had housing
Yeah.
booked and everything, so we
Yeah.
just went anyways.
Okay.
Just had a good time.
Yeah, I knew you pulled out because you were sick, but I thought Rouge Roubaix was like, hey, I'm going to do this because I'm not doing this. I didn't realize the timeline.
Right.
So, well, how did the race play out for you?
So yeah, Rouge Roubaix, we did. This is the third time I've done it. The first time I cramped out. It was a special route that year. It was 130 miles, if I recall, and I cramped out with maybe 10 miles to go, just double quad lock, and could not finish with the other 4 or 5 guys that I was with.
Yeah.
Because it's not flat out there.
No, there are some hills. There are
Yeah.
two main features, 2 big hills that are the main features, and they're both 5 or 6 minutes long, and we're going as hard as we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second year I made it maybe 10 miles to go, and took a corner a little too hot and ran head first into a tree, left with a concussion.
Oh.
That was the lead group on that one too. I got a SAG vehicle to take me back to the start finish. I was just completely out of it. Then this year we didn't start as fast as we usually do, but once we hit that first gravel section, it was going hard.
Yeah.
Then there was some construction towards the end of that first gravel sector that kind of separated the group. I went into that second wheel.
Did it
And-
bottleneck a little bit?
And
or-
bottlenecked, yeah. So they had like a big excavator that was blocking half the road, and there was one single track line through that.
Mhm.
So me and one other guy got out, and there's a small gap behind us, and we hit the road, but they just didn't chase us. So him and I, that's just 20 miles in, him and I just rode together.
20 miles into the race, you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 miles into the race, there's that construction. And him and I rode together for about maybe 15 or 20 miles.
Mhm.
And then I just turned around and he was gone. So it turned out afterwards that he had to take a pee break, which is kind of weird to do when you're in a breakaway. But
Yeah.
I guess he had to do what he had to do, and didn't work out for him. But yeah, the rest of the day I was by myself.
So you
Without-
soloed for the win.
Yeah,
Oh,
really,
yeah.
70-mile solo ish.
Yeah, so that's 60 to 70 miles.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if there was like a group tactic, any attacks or anything, but it's
Yeah, so it kind of works out with the gravel heavy.
That is not the way it works at Rouge Roubaix.
Or not usually, no.
yeah.
But with more gravel now, nobody wants to go hard on the road, so that's where I got my advantage. I just kept going hard on the road, and I'd put in time on the road whenever they're playing cat and mouse with each other.
What was the gap at the end? Do you know?
I think it was about 15 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Man.
That's a decisive win.
Yeah, it's just the road sections. I just kept motoring away from them. They'd
Yeah.
look at
I
each
mean,
other.
traditionally,
and go,
there's serious firepower at that one.
Yeah.
I assume that's still the case.
I don't think the depth is what it used to be, but there are still 300 people on the
Is
start
it
line.
possible that they forgot that you were up the road,
I don't think so. I think they knew. That's just nobody wanted
but they
to
were just
chase.
dicking around with each other
Exactly.
instead of focusing on reeling you back
Well, we
in?
talked before. Get out of sight.
Yeah.
That's the best tool
Yeah.
in the box right
Exactly.
there.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. Wow.
That's something. That's impressive. So 300 people there this time around.
Yeah, I
Do
think
they
roughly 200 to 300. Something
Do they
like
do just the one route, or do they have shorter routes?
that. There are shorter routes. There's I want to say a 35 miler and maybe a 50 miler. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Wow. Well, congratulations, man. That's a badass way to win too.
Yeah, it's not the easy way, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, but at least you have less of a stressor because you don't have anybody around you. Are you shoulder checking a lot?
Oh
or-
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's definitely on my mind.
I was about to say, were you paranoid the whole time, thinking they were coming up on you?
Yeah, absolutely. Usually there's like a lead car or a lead moto or something at that
Yeah.
race. This year we didn't have that. I guess having more gravel made it harder to have a
It's
vehicle.
really tough to do vehicles on the ground.
Yeah, so they ditched that.
Mid-South's an example. of that.
Yeah. Sometimes bad things happen.
We'll talk about that.
I think you would have been more stressed though if you had like, say you're running with a pack of 5 or something, and then you get like 20, 15 miles out and you got to think, well, when do I attack? When are they going to attack? You got to start marking attacks. And
Well, you see, that's what they were doing to each other, and that's
Right.
why they lost.
yeah.
But
So I'm
yeah,
saying
for
just
sure.
from a stress factor, like being on a flyer is probably a little bit easier on you mentally, but
because you have no idea that's what they're doing back there.
Yeah. There's having different tools in your toolbox on ways to win
yeah,
is definitely important. But like, if you run too hot,
you
like,
crack.
you crack. Like if I were to cramp,
With 10
You
miles
would
to
just-
go.
how am I going to finish?
Yeah, you would've
no
just
matter
got
if I'm with a
swallowed up.
group or by myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, just different ways to win. There's
Wow.
I
That's
mean, I don't think
freaking
it's
awesome.
I think it's easier to just sit in and sprint. But
Yeah, that's true. You could have used somebody up and then tossed them aside. Yeah, I get that too. But I guess if you were at the level where you had a radio, you would have been a lot better
Oh,
off because
for
you'd have been
sure.
like, they would have been like, well, you got a 10-minute gap.
Yeah,
You'd been like,
you
well,
can slow down to 5 miles per hour. It's
Yeah.
weird, right?
That's what I'm one of those no radios
Yeah.
at
yeah.
any level. Is
I
the
mean,
way I am.
I see it from both sides, but I do love the old days of like the Tour de France where they had no radios and it was the moto pulled up with the little chalkboard and had the time gap written on it, and that was the majority of their communication. Now it seems like they've got an algorithm running the whole time, and they're like, "Hey, if you guys run 17.3, you'll reel them in 3 minutes," and you
hold 298 watts.
Yeah, they do it to the half watt is
Yeah.
what they do.
yeah.
exactly.
I like the more organic flow of the old tours, But like I said, if you would have had a radio, you would have been in a lot better headspace.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely would have gone easier to watch
Yeah.
10 or 15 miles because I was hurting bad. It was getting hot. That was the first hot ride I'd done all year.
Yeah.
Got up to about 85. Which
it's-
doesn't sound bad, but whenever it's the first one,
Once the first
but
one,
also
and-
in that area, the humidity.
and there's no humidity in Louisiana. No.
at 170 beats per minute was my average for 4 hours.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
that's
high for you.
That's the heat.
yeah,
Oh, so you weren't doing zone 1? Is that what you're
Not
saying?
Not zone one.
damn it, boy.
So-
That is.
What's your average wattage at that pace?
It was about 280
Yeah,
for 4 hours.
that's not bad for you, but at that heart rate,
As hard as I could go.
that's taxing. Yeah, damn. Oh, that's impressive all the way around, and no aero bars, right?
No.
Okay.
So I had my normal gravel bike, the framework, but I had 35 mil GP 5000s on. it.
Yeah, Yeah. So basically
So
a road tire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but super durable road tire.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with that tire.
Yeah.
Because it's the ASTR. It's not the full race version. It's the all-season version.
Yeah. So it has a thicker tread and a little bit tougher sidewall,
I think
right?
it's the same tread, maybe a thicker casing, maybe the tire, the rubber is just a little thicker, but then I think the protection goes bead to bead with the perfect strip, so it's super strong.
Were most people running road tires, or were there people on contenders?
Yeah, I think the top guys were all on GP 5000s. There were a couple gravel tires in there,
Yeah.
but mainly I think road tires are the way to go. Just the gravel's so smooth there.
Yeah. It's like
I can
champagne
do that.
gravel almost. Yeah.
How does resupply work for that one?
Oh, that's a great thing they do. They actually have volunteers with bottles at Handups. So we're going so fast through there, and they're just throwing up water bottles.
And they're good. They're good with passing them off and everything.
Yeah, no problems.
Yeah.
And that's water only?
Water only. I think they've got stuff if you stop, but they do neutral hand up,
Yeah.
which is kind of, I mean, it used to be kind of the norm back in the day, but there's no other race that does that anymore.
So how did you fuel for 100 miles, 4.5 hours ish?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How did you fuel?
4 hours, 50 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah.
I had 2 big bottles, 2 1-liter bottles with about, I think there's 200 grams of carbs in it. And then I had 2 big bars.
Yeah.
And obviously I wasn't planning on riding hard by myself for 4 hours when I set all my nutrition out, but that's just what happened.
So you consumed those 2 bottles. Where was the first? How many feed zones were there?
I think there were 4 feed zones.
Or water zones, whatever.
Yeah, water zones. So whenever I went through there, I grabbed a bottle, drank as much as I could, squirted myself to cool down a bit, and left the bottle there.
And so you still have calories in your bottle. So that was just hydration, cool,
exactly.
Toss it.
And then finally on the last feed zone, I just kept the bottle because I was all out of water.
Yeah.
So I drank 3 liters of water roughly.
Yeah.
Because the bottles that I brought were a liter, and the big bottles the bottles they gave were pretty big too. Not quite a liter, but they're big.
And so were you able to eat your fig bars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's enough road there to, it's kind of hard to eat fig bars when you're going hard because you're breathing so hard.
Yeah. And it's dry.
Yeah.
And you're trying to eat and drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I got those down. That's about it for fueling. I guess I probably had some salt in my water or something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I put salt in there.
Yeah.
'Cause I know
And
it's
did you
gonna be
just
hot.
crater at the end? Or do you
I
feel
was
pretty
hurting.
good?
No, I was hurting the last 5 miles.
Yeah.
There's a few hills going back into town that you don't really think about when you look at the elevation because like they're just little blips.
Yeah.
But when you're tired, they hurt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the pavement there's some smooth pavement, but the rest of it's, it's old Louisiana roads with potholes in it.
Yeah.
Roubaix style
Chip
roads.
steel kind of?
Chip steel, real old chip steel. Not even chip steel, just asphalt, no steel on it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just craters.
Broken
craters.
asphalt.
Wow. Yeah.
Like all that
Do they
pavement.
still have the wooden bridges?
There was one wooden bridge that was super cool. Funny story, Stephanie crashed on that last time we did it and broke her shifter, and she wasn't able to finish. That they do the bridges with vertical struts on it,
Yeah.
and then they do lateral on top that you're supposed to drive over.
Linear,
Stephanie went on the vertical, so she was like, it was real rough, and she just crashed.
Shit. Yeah, because you basically have tire treads on each side. Yeah.
She didn't know you're supposed to go on the linear section. Linear, excuse me.
So what else? What else is going on? I know you were super bummed about Doom, and I was super excited to hear like how you did and what your thoughts were and everything. You've ridden a lot of that stuff though, haven't you?
Yeah. So I did the Triple Crown, which is the main chunk of that course, but he added some extra gravel.
Yeah.
Super excited for it. I got sick. There's nothing I can do. There's no point to be upset about it. We still had a great time.
Yeah.
We went with our friends Jacob and Maggie.
Yeah.
Jacob did the short race, which is crazy. They call it the short race. It's still 100 miles, and it took him 11 hours. Like that's the short course.
Yeah.
But he crushed it. He almost hit podium. He got 5th, not too far off the podium.
He's come such a long way. Dude.
Yeah, he's getting good.
He's awesome. That's so stoked for him.
So yeah, we still had a good time. We chased him around to see him.
Yeah.
Whenever I was done racing, we saw him maybe 4 or 5 times on his course. Just waved at him and said hi.
What's refuel like on that?
So there's no aid stations, but there's like a Dollar General and a convenience store, and then there's
So it's self-supported, right?
self-support, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of water spigots along the way.
And you were going to do the full course?
Yeah, I was doing the full course, 330 miles. I was so underprepared, just being. Usually, I'll do all my stuff the week
Yeah.
on my prep the week leading into the race.
Yeah.
And I was just in bed sick, so I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
figured I wasn't going to make it too far, but
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah. Well, bummed about that, but it's always next year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, of course.
you'll be more prepared next year. Yeah.
I think I would have done well.
Yeah.
Don't want to sound too cocky, but
What was the long course winner's time, out of curiosity?
36 hours and some odd minutes.
Yeah. And what was your goal?
32 hours is
Yeah.
what I was shooting for.
Very feasible for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's if everything went right.
Sure.
I'm sure something would happen and that add an hour or two, or maybe even 4, and it ended up being 36.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy that won's much more accomplished
Yeah.
endurance cyclist than I am. So
And
I'm
did
sure
he
that's a
have
good
any?
benchmark?
Did he have any mechanicals or issues that you know of?
I don't know. I hate to say it, but I've been kind of sour on it just because of how it played out for me. Like
Yeah.
I try to just tune out.
Yeah, that's
keep
fair.
my emotions in check.
Yeah,
But,
that's
you know,
fair. I get that.
there's no hate towards it, but I
Yeah.
just don't want to hear about it.
Don't
Yeah.
want to dwell on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
Well, let's go back to Rouge Roubaix. That's good stuff, right? So, actually, lay out the weekend for me. When did y'all get there? Did you pre-ride any of it? What did that look like?
No pre-ride. We got there Friday night. We had dinner at the pizza place. There's a pretty good pizza place in town that we were happy with. It was a good Neapolitan style pizza.
Mhm.
It's kind of out of the normal for Louisiana,
Yeah.
but it was super good pizza. And we found a place to park the van, and we just slept in the van overnight. The weather was perfect for van camping. It was about
Nice.
50 degrees at night, so we slept well.
Very nice.
Just woke up in the morning, ready to go. Went to the start line. They had porta potties and everything. Actually, we went to McDonald's and used their bathroom and got some breakfast there.
What's the cooling situation like in your van? Like if it would have been hot, you would have had to cool it. You just run the AC in the van?
Yeah, we don't have a standalone AC unit on it.
Mhm.
Usually, if it's like Texas hot, we'll just get a hotel because I hate idling the van.
Yeah.
But is something that I'll do if I'm on
Yeah.
myself. It just doesn't feel right environmentally, or
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to sleep with
Oh.
the van making noise.
Was it a diesel?
No,
No, gas. Okay.
yeah, gas.
Very cool.
So yeah, if it's hot, hotel room or Airbnb usually.
Yeah.
It's hard sleeping in the heat. But I've got a couple little fans in there. If it's 70, it's doable. But
Yeah. And you have a vent on the roof?
No vent. We can crack the back door
Yeah.
and
then
crack
just
the
circulate.
windows, and it circulates with
Yeah.
the fans. Yeah.
You have a battery set up?
I've got a battery. They call it a solar generator. It's just a battery with a control system on it that
Yeah.
recharges via the alternator, or I could connect solar panels to it.
Yeah.
And then I also have a heater, which is the S-Bar heater, and it's got a fan that draws air from under the van.
Mm.
So if there's sun out on the van, it kind of pulls in cooler air.
Yeah.
I don't have to have the heater on, but it's got a fan on it.
That makes sense.
So that's good for circulation as well. Yeah, it's definitely not made for, not designed for heat.
Yeah.
Jumping in the heat. It's more cool weather situation.
Especially dark color too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, white roof would be awesome.
So did you pack up and go immediately after the race, or did you overnight there? Saturday night?
Yeah, we hung out for a few hours, drank a few beers. They had a keg at the finish line, so that was cool. And they were making pastelaia, which is like it's just pasta with some sausage, and I don't know if there was shrimp in it. I think it was sausage heavy, but it
Yeah.
was like an Alfredo sauce, like a cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So we hung out there.
What
and
kind of beer?
Stella.
Stella.
So yeah, nothing local or anything. They just had 3 or 4 kegs at Stella, which was good after a race.
Oh, I'm sure.
Good after a race, good with food.
I just figured maybe they would have some Parish brewing there. You know, they'd make Ghost in the Machine.
Yeah, I
and a
feel
bunch of
like-
good beers.
Yeah, those are the Diamond and Rhinestones.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's like one of the first good IPAs,
Yeah.
good craft IPAs that I remember.
They make some good stuff. I've never had anything out of Parish Brewing that wasn't absolutely delicious. So,
But yeah, it was a good event. They had a tent set up with a bunch of chairs and tables underneath for people to talk about the race and hang out
Yeah.
afterwards. So that's what I did.
That's cool.
yeah.
And then it's still USA Cycling, right?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
I think it's not. I think they did have the junior division was USA.
Juniors were USA
I think it's
Cycling.
part of the Gravel National Series or something.
Okay.
But I don't think our race was USA Cycling.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't remember. I don't think I need a license for it or anything.
Hard to keep up with it all anymore.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like more events are pushing away from USAC now. That's like they don't really provide much.
They're not bringing anything to the table realistically, but like I know some of the Texas guys are trying to really get USA Cycling big on the Turbo Velo's USA Cycling, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay.
That's one of the few races you can get.
Driveways USA Cycling.
Yeah. I think the Cedar Hill Road race is for sure.
Yeah.
And then the Jesuit Roundup
Definitely
race
Andrew
is for
stuff
sure.
is. There's
Yeah,
there's
not many.
there's folks that are they're trying to get you back involved, but I think it's going more the other way in other parts of the country right now too.
Yeah, they pissed somebody off and fell out of favor, and it's there's some traction issues there and everything else.
They
But
just weren't. I mean,
they weren't, like Austin said, they weren't bringing anything to the table.
and from my perspective,
You get your insurance privately if that's what you're after. But other than insurance, there's not really much they bring. I mean, at a high level, you used to do USAC cycling or USAC races to get points to get your upgrade license. But
they got caught up in that model of, well, you got to race USAC to get your upgrade,
right,
Yeah.
Sort-
that was
sort
their
of.
main draw.
and
That's about it.
and then they kind of got to the point that wasn't really working anymore, and then they started. It's like, well, in this case, we're not going to let you upgrade because this weird rule that but we're going to let the guy right next to you upgrade,
Yeah.
even though he didn't podium.
There's discretionary upgrades. Is what it was.
It
Silliness.
got crazy for a while there.
And they wouldn't let you upgrade if you had enough points, but they were only from local races. They wanted you to travel out of state to get points to get your cat on. That was one weird rule that they had.
They had all sorts of weird stuff. So
So they made it difficult. And then it seemed like after 2020, they just started handing out upgrades. Like you didn't even need your points because there weren't anybody racing. Nobody would show up for the Cat 1 races. So they needed racers to be there. So they made it easier.
Well,
Yeah, when we're talking gravel, you don't need any category. Like everybody just races gravel. So what's the point of being USAC if you just.
but Valley of Tears is USAC, right? I think.
I don't
maybe.
think so. I think that was just collegiate.
Was it just the collegiate that was USAC? Okay.
Because they did they called that the Collegiate Gravel Nationals.
Okay.
It's kind of strange to have a national race in March.
To open the
Yeah,
season.
the first race of the year is the national race. I guess second if they did Chainring Massacre.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did.
were there any 32ers there? Just got to ask.
I didn't notice they weren't riding with me.
They weren't off the front.
They weren't off the front.
I just was curious. They've started to show up at a lot of races. In fact, I saw there was a couple at Doom.
Yeah, so Doom did something cool. They had a builders challenge where they had a handful of bike builders make custom bikes for the race, and I think 32 was part of the curriculum on that. Which is
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
So they had a few 32ers out there, custom built.
What's your initial thoughts? And don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think that the 32 is aimed at a guy of your stature or your caliber either. But I think that it's more going to be for taller guys that are mid-pack riders.
I think fit has a big part to do
Yeah.
with it being bigger. It just makes sense.
Yeah. Like, I think what I'm hearing is like 5'11" and above, or some people have even said 6'1", but I don't think we're going to see 32s at the pointy end of the spear in the next couple of years, but I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of them.
Yeah,
I think in a gravel situation, it offers even more advantage, especially from a paceline standpoint, and from just once you get those hoops spinning, they're going to keep working for you. As long as you're not trying to make surges and stuff,
Yeah.
I think it's for motoring. I think it's going to be a big game changer. But
Maybe something like the Great Divide or
Tour Divide.
Tour
yeah,
Divide.
Tour Divide. I think
Something like that would
Yeah.
be good for.
That's my hypothesis. They're gonna unveil the new Fargo at Tour Divide this year.
That'd be a 32.
that's the rumor.
That's and we
Titanium.
and titanium.
I've got a couple of confirmed sources that
If you listen to the last Guitar 10 podcast,
Oh.
they attributed it to us for leaking.
Oh, really?
the 32.
okay. Yeah.
I heard those ShiftLess guys let it out.
Yeah.
But then they go, well, everybody knew it was coming. They were the first ones that just said it. So Mark just took that as an opportunity where he could say, yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. Oh, so they confirmed it.
Basically the same rumors as
Yeah.
as what we had.
Well, I know that I can't give up my sources on this, but we are going to have major component brands that also build wheels that are introducing prefab 32-inch wheels.
Yeah, I think you talked about Mavic was coming on board with it too.
This is, from what I'm understanding, it's going to be Shimano is going to start offering 32-inch prefab wheels. Now, I don't know if they're going to lean towards mountain or road or gravel or what. I find it hard to believe that they're going to come out with all three at first, and that brings in my question: like, what's going to be the mass penetration market?
Well, I mean,
gravel or road?
Austin coming from his background, what's your knee jerk? Is the natural kickoff for this? Is it mountain bike? Is it gravel? Is it drop bar mountain bike for multi-day touring? What's the right place for 32 to premiere, do you think?
I honestly do not know. I've got no idea. I'd have to ride one first to have any type of initial impressions,
I think
I could probably tell right away once I got on it what it's good at and what it's not good at. And maybe I could infer something from testing 26 and 29 back to back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you make a major jump just if you think about the road aspect. When you go from 650 to 700, there's definitely an advantage. Once you get those, same thing. Once you get those hoops spinning, they want to spin better. They don't accelerate as fast, but they hold top speed a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to get the same, whatever you call it, comparison between a 29 and a 32. So I see that aspect of road, and like I said, once you get 10 guys on 32, you're going to have a better drafting effect and everything else. But I also see it from a gravel standpoint and a drop bar mountain bike, aspect. And then I think the reason we're seeing so many mountain bikes is because mountain bikes don't have to be as concise right now. And all the tools already exist with like the NV fork that can run a rigid fork and fit a 32-inch in there. You can fab up a mountain bike frame pretty readily.
It's the fabbing of the frame.
Yeah, and the tire kind of led the whole trip too, because Maxxis introduced the 32 by 2.4. I think it's already, they were the first ones to market with that tire like 2 years ago now at the Taipei cycling show. And so that kind of led in everything too. So
nobody's approached you and said, ride our 32. We'll give you $50,000 in a money.
Not yet. I'm looking forward to it though.
keep your phone on.
Yeah, I'm wondering if how big of a aerodynamic disadvantage that extra 3 inches would be on a road bike, because you got to imagine that's pretty important.
Yeah. So bikepacking.com did a tire wheel comparison where they overlaid the graph. It's a really cool visual where you can see the circumference of, I think they went down to all the way to like 20-inch or something, and just overlaid the circumference with the tire width, built in, because when you get to like a 2.6, you're talking about a higher stand and everything else.
Bigger.
And so the 32 overlaid with the 29, it's not a huge difference compared to 29 to 26, if I'm recalling it correctly. So I think what we're going to end up with is just more rotational weight from a tire and rim and even spoke and nipple, getting the weight on the exterior, because the hubs don't matter. That's not rotational weight at the end of the day. And I'm interested to hear Dylan Johnson's take on it, if he hasn't already done something, even if he's just speculating on what the aerodynamics are, because you're not going to have a bigger frontal plane. And I don't know if
your head tube can only get so small.
Yeah, that's true.
And on mine, like my head tube's as small as it could get. They literally would not make a smaller head tube on my custom bike.
Yeah.
Because it's just, unless you do a complete redesign.
Yeah. And then in the cockpit is where the big snafu is right now, like how to keep people in that position.
So yeah, for a bigger guy, it's going to be the same, right? Because the head tube's not the limit.
Yeah.
But for me, I'd be higher up in the air, because if the head tube's the same, but you're riding 6 inches.
Yeah. And what these guys are doing right now is they're doing a negative stem that actually has a cutout recess to accommodate the top of the headset. So you're trying to get those bars in the middle of the head tube, which that's the big holdup right now, is just figuring out the cockpit. seat stays, all that stuff, you're going to have a negative drop on your bottom bracket to your rear wheel, which may actually help in a mountain biking aspect. And it may actually help hide the rear wheel behind your bottom bracket and your pedals and everything, you know, all that going on in the middle. But the cockpit, I think, is where a lot of the drag could get caught up. But if you can get those guys tucked, and that's why the drop bar makes even more sense in that aspect versus a flat bar situation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we'll see. I think it's going to be more than a flash in the pan. And I think I think the industry's at least pushing hard for more than one or two reasons. I think there is gains to be had, but I also think this is the shiny new object.
Yeah, and why stop here?
Yeah, well,
36ers.
there's already 36ers. 36ers have been around.
Why stop there? Let's go 40.
Well, my ponderings on it when I was riding Gateway the other day is what's tire width going to be on 32? Because you're making up more contact patch fore and aft, so you don't
Right.
need to contact patch from extra width, correct?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I
still
agree.
need it in the corners. You still want, you know, you can't have.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't have a
I mean, I'm not saying they're going to go from 2.6 to 1.9s or anything
Right.
like that, but
small block 8s.
maybe, I don't know.
I think 2.4 is probably the magic number there, and unless you're trying to be super racer boy, maybe you go 2.2.
What does that do to rolling resistance?
It's
for real?
quite a bit lower.
Yeah.
So you got to imagine if you're getting a grippier tire or a grippier contact with on the trail, you're losing rolling resistance there
Sure.
because it's like Velcro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whenever you go narrower and there's less contact, you're gonna roll quicker.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it's like people might start going narrower on tires again now on the 32,
It's possible.
end up with the same net contact
Yeah,
patch.
it's the oval shape of the contact is just longer,
Yeah.
so
Right.
fatter.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It is. At the very least, it's going to be interesting.
A lot of testing to be done.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think, the geometry, but also the durability of the wheels, like we talked about with Josh Dean, spokes, spoke count. Like I said, I don't think a 28 is going to have a place in a 32-inch wheel. I think it's going to be a 32 hole minimum. And then just spoke availability for that length is also, Type A cycling show, I think, is just now kicking off. So I think we're going to see a lot of stuff filter through that because a lot of these products inevitably are coming out of that region.
Was there anything different or off the wall that you saw in the field at Rouge Roubaix? Or all pretty much just the standard field?
Yeah, it was all mainly road bike stuff.
Yeah.
Mainly road bikes, like 30 to 35 mil tire.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of gravel stuff or anything you need.
No triple chain rings.
No triples, no down tube shifters, nothing like that.
Friction shifting. Any punctures or anything?
No. Flawless.
gravel-
Everything worked perfect.
Yeah.
I had no issues.
No, I mean from the field.
Oh yeah, there are some punctures. In
Okay.
the field. Yeah. And do you know who Ben Delaney is?
Yeah.
He was there. He did a review on the new Salsa. What was it, Storm Chaser?
Fly
Storm chasers are
Yeah.
single speed, but you
No,
can build
no,
it.
it's their new kind of race.
Flybird or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh, I know what you're
I
talking
can't
about.
ever remember.
It's
how to use that.
the Warbird that has been renamed.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot
Carbon
what it's called
Warbird,
too.
but yeah, he did a review on that. He was there racing. He had a full gravel setup,
Yeah.
but he didn't flat. But he got videos of other people flatting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what they call their endurance
Flyaway,
adventure
maybe?
bike, something like that. Yeah, I can't remember. what
Nico's
it's
got
called.
one.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, it's a cool bike.
I'm going to try to go grab it tomorrow if I can get away with it.
So they made it a little racier this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not full on aggressive, but more bike pack race. Like
Right,
the racing
right.
end of the bike packing spectrum.
Yeah, when Warbird first came out,
Flyway. That's
Fly-
what it's called.
when Warbird first came out, it was gravel race bike, but then everyone else came out with real gravel race
Exactly.
bikes,
Yeah.
and Warbird kind
So
of.
I guess this is probably still the same spectrum there. It's a little more aggressive than the original one, but still
Right.
not
it's,
like
it's,
3T.
it's not
aggressive.
racer boy, yeah, 3T
Yeah,
ish.
Yeah, it's still an endurance style
Yeah.
bike. I think this would be great for Doom.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe- well, I think full suspension mountain bike for Doom, but
Oh,
for,
yeah?
longer bike packing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't think. Well, this one's set up with looks like 60 mil deep rims and stuff that's on their site. God, it's 12K.
How about About to say it's a hella expensive bike, right?
Yeah, with Red Explorer on it.
Yeah, that's a pricey group set.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe that is super racy. I don't know, but.
But yeah, that's what he was on. He was one of the few with 40 mil tires. I think he was 40 plus.
Yeah.
And I think he actually did have some tire issues. But he was on those Hutchinson's Carnicle tires.
So I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it's like a unicorn on the drum test on bicycle rolling resistance. But I don't think it was a tire issue. I think it was like maybe a valve issue. He just said it kept going low.
Yeah.
No sign of puncture. Like you usually see like a wet spot on the tire where sealant's coming out.
Yeah.
It was super dry out there, so
yeah.
He didn't see any of that. I think it's probably a valve issue.
So he's running tubeless, right? Yeah, you're running tubeless too?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings me to this other question. What sealant do you use?
I always buy stands.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with orange sealant or stands. It's just stands is what I buy.
Yeah, because I was talking to Nico the other day, and he goes, I don't have a problem with stands, but stands has a shorter usability. And orange seal, he said that the durability of it is better. He is a big fan of orange seal, but he said no slight towards stands. And I was just like,
yeah, I'm the same way, just opposite. Like, I have no problems with orange seal. It's just stands is what I know.
Yeah. And do you run the Pro? Do they still make the Pro?
Yeah.
With the nanotubes and shit in it?
I tried. It was not called Pro. It's called like Race Day or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I tried that once and it like literally dried up overnight. Yeah. So yeah, it's literally Race Day only. So yeah, I don't use that anymore.
Yeah. I don't even know
had
if
like
they
some
still make
graphite
it.
particles in it that would plug the hole.
I don't even know if they still make it. I haven't seen it the past couple of times I've been to the shop. I haven't been looking for it either. Because to me, all the feedback I got was something very similar to that. And I even heard that it didn't seal as well in some scenarios, but I heard that, if you don't check it every week or 2 weeks, then it'll be dried up and won't do its.
Yeah. I on new tires, the stands doesn't last as long, maybe 2 or 3 months. I think it kind of coats, gets a layer.
It coats it.
Yeah. And then the second time you get like, I don't know, 5 or 6 months out of it. The second time you refill. Yeah. But then you've got that extra weight of sealant in there. I have 2 bottles of sealant or whatever.
Rotational weight.
Yeah.
On top of everything. So.
But at the same time, you're burning rubber out of the outside. So when you're that deep into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you ride it in the summer, you get a little less when it's hot and you're on the pavement, it kind of dries up quicker. But as long as you keep it rotating and it doesn't pull up at the bottom and dry. I just top it up before I race or go on vacation or something. I don't have a problem.
Well, and that's the other thing is you talk about just volumetrically speaking, when you have a road tire, say you're running 35s, you have way less stands in there. Mm-hmm. And so if it starts to dry up, it's like detrimental comparatively to like a 2.6 29er tire.
Your weight focused at one spot.
Yeah.
Dry weight.
Yeah. So I think we already asked you this. Have you ever, I did ask you this, balanced your wheels on your road bike? Did you ever try that?
Yeah, we talked about this before, but no, I haven't.
Yeah. Okay. I just didn't know if that's something that anybody's sticking with at that level. I mean, it seems like high level nerddom, but if it's what do they call it, marginal gain,
I could see definitely some confidence and improvements on like fast ascents and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I imagine when you get going faster, might be a little speed wobble if your wheel's out of balance.
Yeah. I think it was what's the British Cycling Channel, GCN. They did a special about it, I guess, like 8 or 9 months ago, and he was like, "Yeah, it can be done." And then he goes, "But as soon as you change your tire, put a new tire on, you have to do the same thing over again." So he said it's one time, and then you have to address it all over again. But they did a test where they did a descent, much like you're talking. And it was a difference of, I want to say like 8, 9, 10 seconds or something, just because I guess with the wheel being balanced, it actually either got up to speed better or it held top speed a little bit better. So, and it wasn't a long run. I can't remember, like maybe 2-3 kilometers or something of this downhill. So I'd have to go back and watch it to pull the actual specifics. But I don't think there's any benefit for the type of riding we do around here. Yeah. I just think like in you know, if you blow it out of proportion and you think about something that's completely unbalanced and you're trying to stay, you know, 24 miles an hour in a Peloton or something, if you have something that's out of balance, you're going to be working a little harder versus something that just turns smoothly and evenly. You know, that's why ceramic bearings and, you know, all this, and it may just be half a watt difference, you know, or something.
Marginal gains, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's working on a wheel balancing machine for bicycle wheels. That probably already
Well,
exists.
Particularly for those 36-inch ones.
Yeah, that is our
32. 32. Yeah.
It'll be beneficial for 32s and 36ers.
Yeah.
We're getting a couple generations ahead.
Well, the 36er's been out for some time.
There's just no tires for it.
No, there is. There is. So that all came backwards from the unicycle world. So unicycles, you know, when you get into longer distance and more technical terrain, they want a bigger wheel. So that wheel was already made for unicycles, and I guess they already had spokes for it, and then they already had tires. So this company, they call it Dirty Sixer because it's a mountain bike. They started building custom mountain bikes based around the 36-inch wheels for like 7 foot tall guys.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right? Proportionate design.
One of those out at RCP 10 years ago.
Yeah. And they're few and far between, but I saw one up at Velo maybe a year or two ago, and it had dual disc brakes on the front. You know, you're thinking if somebody's 7 foot tall, they're going to be 300 pounds, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of momentum to slow down, you know, even if you have a huge contact patch, you got to have something that slows it down. So they're over engineered to say the least, but and it's a very application specific model, you know, and I don't know for a fact, but I think they're all custom. They may have some off the shelf, but they start at like double extra large, you know, there's no small 36er.
That would just be impossible.
Yeah.
You have any new hardware in the pipeline?
No. Well, I got a new road bike, and I designed and had a custom stem manufactured for it. It's pretty sweet. Kind of hard to talk about it without pictures.
Yeah. Is it carbon? Is it?
Yeah, the stem is aluminum, but it's a Cannondale super slice. So it's like a TT bike or TT bike that I built a stem.
Slice. Yeah. Remember what we talked about?
Yeah.
Oh, have you talked about that?
Well, they did a teaser. Did you see on Instagram? They had the big piece of the big pizza, and then they took a cut out of it, and it was basically a slice that went from edge to edge, and then they pulled it out, and they said the slice, and it was
something big is coming.
Yeah, something big is coming, and it was the slice, and it was going to be released on February 17th, and we were thinking, well, maybe they're going to come out with a 32er.
Oh yeah, but it was their new updated version of the super slicer TT bike.
Yeah.
So what's different about it?
I bought it used from the TNF. It was their one of their pro riders last year's bike.
Yeah.
So I got a deal on the frame, and I just built it up around that.
Yeah. So but you don't do time trials.
No, it's drop bar. I put custom stem with drop bars on it.
Yeah.
But it's the fit that I like that I have my custom bike. The geometry is almost identical to my custom bike.
So this is going to be your road rig.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That's what I've been riding on the road.
So
I've only got a few rides on it, but
yeah.
And that's your crit bike too?
Yeah, and I'll race crits on it.
But that's a carbon frame.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, okay. But it's got arrow legs on the fork.
Yeah, super arrow.
Yeah.
No, the new one, they updated the fork. My fork is not as arrow as the new one. It's kind of old school.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like a 5-year-old model or something. Not the latest and greatest. But
yeah. Well, especially since they just dropped a new model.
Yeah, but it's cool. I bought it from. It's got the stickers from the Pro Rider on it, and that was Naomi Rouge, and she got second at Milan San Remo on Saturday, which is super cool. And
Very cool.
She won Tour Down Under women's race earlier this year in February.
Very cool.
So I got her old bike. It was well used. I had to do a lot of work. Like the bearings were all rusted, and the bottom bracket was nasty.
Yeah.
She got her use out of it.
Is it press fit?
The bottom bracket is it's BSA 83 or whatever the road standard is.
That's threaded though. That's not press fit.
No, you're right. It's press fit. It's press fit, but it's whatever Cannondale's standard is.
Yeah.
PIA.
Cannondale always has to be fucking weird.
PIA 86A or something.
Everybody's weird now. Cannondale used to be the one-off that did everything their own. Now everybody's proprietary about everything.
Yeah, well, Cannondale is always has its quirks, but it's good engineering. The quirks are always they always make sense.
Yeah, they're wicked smart in their development team, you know. But and I guess it's by design. Their stuff doesn't translate over. You can't just cross a lot of parts over.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to bottom bracket headset, you know, and I'm thinking of like the lefty fork and the hub and
Well, not
all
only
that.
that, on this headset, it's a standard 86 mil diameter bearing on the headset. You know, just like the first generation internal headset.
Yeah.
But it's internal, so instead of a round steer, it's triangular shape, so the cables can run on the side.
Yeah.
Which is unique.
Yeah.
So on my stem, I made the whole triangular, so it would clamp better than a circle.
yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. So who did you get to design your stem?
I designed it.
Well,
so
I know you designed it, but who produced it?
I got a machine shop in China to make it.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, you should add a U.S. made." Well, of course I tried that.
Yeah.
It was just priced way out. It was the cheapest quote I got from U.S., which I had several quotes, is like $2,300
For a fucking stem?
Yeah, to have a stem made. In China, it's $300.
Yeah. What does
So
that process look like? How long from start to finish? How many drawings did you go through? Did you falter from your original thoughts? Were you steered a certain way, no pun intended? And like, what does that process look like?
Yeah, I had several iterations of it. First I drew it on CAD, so I use a program called Fusion 360.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got a friend with a 3D printer, and he printed it out for me.
That makes perfect sense.
So full size. That way I get rapid prototyping, and then I just put it on the bike to check fitment.
Yeah.
Then I made changes from there, and he printed out several revisions. Like, I felt terrible bugging him so much about it, but he kept helping me.
How long does it take to 3D print a stem like that on his machine?
It was a long print. I think it was 8 hours or so.
Oh, wow.
So it was a long print.
Yeah.
So the first one I had him do the whole thing. Then the changes, I just had him print out those little sections of the stem just so I could confirm fitment on.
Yeah.
You know, let me see if I can pull a picture of it real quick without slowing down, because I did take a picture.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
But yeah. So then that
thing looks slow.
And then I printed
that's tit. So is this the finished product, or is this a 3D print?
That's I call it the finished product, but there's still revisions I'd like to make if we get a hold of the tariff situation anytime soon. I'd have another one made.
So what is this, like a 120, 130?
110 is a reach.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the angle is like 4.3. I just had the angle match the top tube.
Top tube, yeah.
And there's a video if you swipe right or left to get a little better idea.
God,
that
looks sexy. Sexy.
For people that aren't looking at the pictures, explain what makes it custom with those measurements. Why is it a custom stem?
It's a custom stem because the head tube is a unique shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of sunk into the frame, and then there's a bunch of angles to the frame that the stem matches up to.
Yeah.
And I also designed the stem to be the bearing cover also. If you look closely, I have all the lines matched to the bearings.
That is sexy.
It looks
that
good.
Is so sexy.
And I could have had it black, but I wanted to stand out, and I thought it matched my group set a little bit being silver.
Well, and it matches the decal on the down tube as well. You know, from a distance.
It looks good.
Yeah. I like it. We should make that the cover photo for
I bet Austin will send me the picture if I ask him to.
Yeah.
The finish work is not perfect on it.
But 300 versus 2300.
Yeah,
it's good enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It's good enough. Just give it a second. I'll get to the stem.
Oh, that's at North Shore.
And then I had it's a horseshoe. I had a Garmin mount made for it too to match
off the front.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
turned out good.
That's cool. So what did that process look like from the start to the finish?
How long? I think it took, I did it. I first sent them my drawings when it was Chinese New Year. So they were off for 2 or 3 weeks over there. So I had to wait for all that to go through. And then I think it only took them 10 days to make there's 3 parts, the main body of the stem, the faceplate, and the Garmin mount. It took 10 days.
That's not bad.
And they did the anodizing in different baths, so they're all a little slightly different color.
Slightly off from
But I didn't expect that. I figured they would know.
Yeah.
That's partly my fault.
It's going to change due to sunlight and UV and everything else anyways,
But it is anodized, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something where there might be a market with that, where you could produce 100 of them? And
I don't think so.
No, because everybody's going to want a different reach.
That's what I'm assuming.
Different color.
Well, not only that, I'm the only one that wants that stem on that bike,
Yeah.
the drop bar
Yeah.
TT bike.
Well, and how different is that stem from the stem that was on the bike when you purchased it?
Well, it came with a TT base bar.
So it was
not drop
integrated.
bar.
It was
Yeah.
all one piece. I got you. Oh, so it was like a bullhorn kind of setup?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's just full TT bike.
Yeah. Okay.
So a drop bar wasn't an option.
I got you. So it was a necessity.
Mhm.
Yeah. I got you now.
Well, you could put a standard stem on it. It just didn't match with the shape of the
Yeah.
frame.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. The next frame size up, it's a different shape than that. So it's
Oh, yeah.
size specific.
Yeah,
Not only length,
send,
but to the
send me
frame.
all those images and the movies, and I'm going to figure out a way to incorporate it into
Yeah.
the.
Yes.
the
If
YouTube
anybody needs
version.
custom design work done, I could
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got the contacts in China for like it's not cheap, but
Yeah.
if
What-
I were to make 10 of them, it would have been significantly cheaper.
Sure.
but it's
So
just a one-off.
if somebody's curious, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Email? What?
Yeah, just email austinwhittington@gmail.com.
Okay.
I'm not an expert in CAD, but I know enough to design something specific for you if needed.
That's very
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So you got the bike and then you immediately, like before you even got the bike, did you know, oh, I'm going to have to source a stem?
No, I did not. I just figured I would find something off the market that worked, and then once because the base bar that is designed around the integrated cockpit is Vision,
Mm-hmm.
and they make a bunch of products that are the same shape. So I figured something from them would work,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't find anything that would work.
Yeah.
So I figured
Especially-
I'd take it upon myself to make it.
Especially for internal routing.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are very few internally routed stems, let alone with the stack low enough for how short that fork was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that the first time you've done a project like that, or you done stuff like that before?
That's the first big project I've done. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of little stuff, little enclosures and fittings and stuff, but nothing like that. And it hasn't broken yet. I don't have any way to fatigue test it up.
Yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a concern of mine.
Yeah.
Not having fatigue testing done on it, but it's just myself.
And
Just
maybe
in
ride
case.
with the mouthpiece for a few rides.
Yeah, usually cracks propagate before
Yeah.
anything catastrophic happens. So
Yeah.
and it's aluminum, so there's some bending to it before just cracking.
Yeah.
Breaking.
What was I gonna say? What's the clamping mechanism like? I saw you can still tighten the headset from
Yeah.
the top, right?
No, let
No?
me show you. So I've got 3 bolts. 2,
Mhm.
they're all on the bottom.
Oh,
The middle one's a shoulder bolt, which holds.
I was talking about affixing it to the fork though.
Oh, right.
The steer tube.
Yeah. So I have a triangular shaped hole,
yeah.
and I put three. Let's see if this video has 3 bolt holes on the back, just because the steer is so short.
And your steer's carbon, I'm sure, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got 3 bolt holes back there.
Okay.
Because the steer is so short.
Yeah.
Only the 2. It only goes up to that second bolt.
Yeah.
But I just wanted the 3rd one there just for
Yeah. And
symmetry.
what's this slit here for?
So that slit is so the bearings don't compress when I clamp the,
I got you.
the top, because
That
that
makes-
goes over the bearings.
that
Okay.
makes sense.
And that's the only way I could
Yeah.
figure out.
And then you've got a relief behind the tension bolt to
Correct.
take the slack out of the
Yeah,
headset.
so instead of doing like a top cap, I just put a hole in the top
Yeah.
and made it all one piece
It had a recess. Yeah.
and have that
Yeah.
countersunk.
That's slick.
Man, love
So-
it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool as hell.
Rethinking it, I could have done like a wedge system
Yeah.
to clamp and just gotten rid of that slit and the both slits on the back and the bearing cover.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about that at the time.
It still looks slick as hell.
Yeah.
I mean,
It gets the job done.
yeah. And, you could pick it apart, even if you
No,
did a
yeah,
wedge
of
system and
course.
everything, you'd be like, oh, I could have done this.
Yeah.
But I mean, for a first go, I mean, obviously you had multiple iterations, like you said, but for your first stab at it, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, the 3D printing really is a breakthrough technology. Just being able
Okay.
to have examples the same day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's slick. I like it.
So, what was the total turnaround time from concept to having it delivered to your door?
I had to learn a lot of new stuff in the CAD, so I spent probably 20 hours over a couple weeks designing. An hour here and there whenever I had time.
But had you reached out to them before that? You're getting pricing while you're doing that, or did you get the design?
No, I
where you
designed
wanted
it and I printed it, and then I I sourced manufacturing after all my design.
So once you
Correct.
decided you wanted to go with them, then you said it was almost 10 days
10
to
days.
that
Yeah.
point.
I think
So
it was 10 days plus 2 days shipping is all.
2 days shipping.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
yeah,
from
so,
China.
so all the majority of the time was built in with you
Development.
designing it and developing it. And then once you had, okay, I'm ready to do this, it was 12, 14 days, 2 weeks.
That's it.
-ish. Yeah. That's freaking
Yeah, if I
cool.
were to redesign it, it'd probably be 3 weeks from concept to finished product,
Yeah. That's not bad.
depending on how many revisions need to be made after a 3D print.
Yeah. That's slick.
And that's with China. If US would probably be quicker,
Yeah.
but you're paying for it.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, the tariffs need to go up to about 500% for it to make sense to
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
for a US manufacturer on something like that. Anyways,
But still, they're getting the majority of their aluminum is coming from Canada anyway. So that's got tariffs on it coming into the United States.
you're
You
paying
know,
tariffs on materials,
just raw materials. Yeah.
and those
so.
bits are coming from China.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
all impacted. So, well, what's the next major endeavor race for you? Are you?
I don't have any big gravel races or adventure races on this schedule. I think I'm gonna go do some crit racing, weeknight crit racing, pretty soon.
Over Fair Park?
No, there's Fair Park's not happening this year, but there's
it's
one
not?
in Richardson called the Turbo Velo crits, and
Yeah.
they're starting tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll make it tomorrow, but I want to get out there once this year.
Yeah. Very cool.
And gravel race, I guess we've got that 4-hour race.
Red River
Red
Ride.
River Ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, you moved that back a few weeks. I remember seeing that, or a month even. And we like doing that Monster Fest rally up there, German Fest.
German
and
Fest.
Monster. That's always a good ride. We like riding up there
Yeah.
and doing a rally, then hanging out and drinking beers off there.
Yeah. Because you normally have a tailwind
Yeah, exactly.
For that,
Southwind,
to
big
get
Southwind.
from here to there.
Mhm.
That doesn't suck.
Yeah, I can't think of any races I've got on the schedule.
So you're back down to just 25 hours a week. No big deal.
I'm trying to get back up to that. I'm been probably at 17, 18, 19 around there. I'd like to get up in the mid 20s again.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, oh, I'll just go ride a lot, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Hard riding that much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sounds
It's-
easy, doesn't it?
It's a job. I mean,
It's a part-time job
Yeah.
for sure. But it's something I love to do, so
Yeah.
it's not really work.
Have you started putting together a training plan for Brad yet?
What are we training for?
and I just need to get on my bike.
Yeah, you need to ride.
Yeah.
For the tribe ride.
Yeah.
Thursday, ride your bike.
Yeah. I need to just start riding, but I've been doing so many construction projects and I've been trying to get all this cooler stuff nailed down. I, had to do a lot of research because each one of these coolers I'm converting to a dry aging cabinet. So I have to control my humidity, my temperature. And then with basically the way the temperature control works is it's got a temperature probe inside the refrigerator. And once it gets to a certain temperature, the refrigerator itself is actually plugged into that controller. And so it turns off the refrigerator. And then when it gets, to a certain temperature, it turns back on. But you want constant air circulation. So now I have to bypass the fans to make the fans constantly run. And so
so they don't switch off with the cooler, with the condenser.
Yeah. And so I've got a humidifier that's going in because I've got a humidity monitor controller and then a dehumidifier. And then I've got USB fans that I bought to put inside the cooler to keep circulation constantly in the cooler. So just getting all that stuff figured out and figuring out how to power each cooler. And then I want to seamlessly integrate it so I don't have all these cords trying to go through the doors in between the gaskets. And I also don't want it to be an eyesore. I don't want to look like a Frankenstein project. So I've got to figure out where I'm going to make a penetration in the cooler and then hide all my stuff up top or on the side. So that's the next step and all that. And then I have my slicer, my grinder, my sausage stuffer, all that stuff coming. And then once we get the coolers in place, I've got to figure out how big of a stainless steel table I can get away with,
All right. So with all the rigmarole with the coolers today, be able to go to Betty Joe's with me tomorrow?
Yeah, they're supposed to be here today
Okay.
with the balance of my
They're
coolers.
not going to be here.
You don't think so?
God, I hope so.
It's been an absolute fustercluck. But like I said, with the relatively low price that I'm spending, I'm still okay with it, you know.
Understood.
Yeah,
And the guys were super helpful and super nice. But you should have seen that guy sheepishly telling me, "Hey, he literally said, you've got every right to shoot me right now." And he goes, "But that cooler or that freezer that's in there is actually a cooler. So the freezer's still on the truck. We're going to have to take that one back out and put this one back in."
So for the listeners out there that aren't, these were supposed to be delivered on Thursday originally.
No, well, we were going to do it on Thursday, and then I found out that according to them, they only deliver to the front door.
Okay.
And then I started doing all my measuring and stuff and was like, oh, well, with the casters on, they won't fit through the front door. It's too tall.
Okay.
And then I started thinking, well, I got to take the casters off, and then we're going to have to slide it across the threshold, and I've got 1 inch of tolerance there. And I was like, this is a bad idea. So then I had to.
So then you rescheduled them so you could do your figuring and sort.
And plus Thursday was going to be a terrible time because I'm in the midst of prepping for dinners.
Sure.
And
so then it got moved to Monday.
And in the meantime, I had huge casters that are rubberized that were on my son's bed that I built with a large 2x8 cedar slat going across the bottom of the bed. And he's been bugging me to take those off of his bed. So I was like, perfect. So I took those off. They were like the perfect length. And then I just cross braced them to make a huge specific furniture dolly. And then did a bunch of 2x4s on top of that. And then laid a piece of OSB on top of that. So I'd have a platform. It's basically like a big skateboard deck, you know. Then I had to puzzle out how to get over the threshold without damaging the threshold. And then the front walkway where the pea gravel and the stepping stones are. Had to build another flat piece there. So that was all part of getting it in because we had to lay it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get through, wheel it all the way down the hall because you can't stand it up before this little doorway that's on the side of the kitchen. And then because it's 83 inches tall with the casters, 83 and a half, something like that. But corner to corner with the caster on, it's like 97 and a half inches. Well, my ceiling's 96 inches. So I had to take the bottom 2 casters off, put a board underneath it so we can then stand it up.
So 4 pieces that are being did they bring all 4 in the house? Or
No.
So
So initially, I mean, we were supposed to get 3 glass front refrigerators and 1 stainless steel front freezer.
okay.
So we rolled the first one in. It clearly says freezer on it. It's stainless front. Thought nothing of it. Brought it back. Stood it up. Propped it up. I've got a block that I screwed some boards together to prop
So
it.
everything rolled in the way it was supposed to, just fine.
And it was half an inch on each side getting through the doorway. It was like I knew what I was doing, you know? And then standing it up, there was 1.5 inches, 2 inches between the top corner of the cooler and the ceiling. So everything worked perfect. Get it in out of the way, get the casters on, get it out of the way, go back out. They've already got the next one down on the ground, pulled the box off. It's stainless front. I go, oh, this is not right. So that's when they go, well, let me call dispatch and see what's going on. And they're like, okay, we'll just come back. And so 15 minutes later, he shows up and he goes, hey, that's actually the one of the coolers. They upgraded that freezer to be a cooler, and these are 2 other coolers, and the freezer's actually still in the truck. I'm like, so we got to bring that one in and take this one out. So we had to reverse everything.
Okay. So only one got brought in,
Just the freezer.
and it was the wrong one. So they took that out. The other 2 stayed out,
Yeah,
and then the 4th one came in
the freezer.
at the actual. So you have no coolers. You just have 1 freezer at the moment.
Yeah,
And they're coming back with 3 glass front coolers tonight,
allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah.
And if they don't come back tonight,
Then they're gonna have to come on Wednesday.
okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm making sure.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty important that we meet Betty Jo tomorrow.
Oh no, I'm not standing you up on that.
Okay.
In fact, I've got my day planned tomorrow because I'm also running a construction project around the corner.
Okay.
So I've got that structured to where they're not going to start sheetrock until Wednesday. So
Okay. And
juggling a lot of balls here.
all right. And what time do I have to have you home tomorrow?
Whenever.
Okay.
I mean, in time for TNSS. I'm planning on riding TNSS.
We're gonna ride TNSS.
It's going to be beautiful weather, man.
Understood.
We're supposed to get back into the 90s later in the week.
So, all right, that means I have to steal the wife's Jeep because we have to scout 42. We have to scout 42 miles.
Yeah, I told you wouldn't be in for all that. We were going to drive to Munster, meet with Betty Joe, and then go scout like 42 miles. And
That's a long day.
yeah, I was like, he's not in.
Well, he could have left from Betty Joe's and just pedaled on home.
That's true. We could have just dropped you in Munster and let you ride home.
It's a good ride.
I mean, it's gonna. So, I'm excited about this because we're doing a fam style something
Yeah.
at the pie lady's house.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to meet with the pie lady and figure out how all the pieces come together. I'm starting to think maybe we just don't worry about making it an overnight thing this time. Maybe we just do a day thing this time. But I don't know. We'll talk about it tomorrow and figure it out. Maybe try to keep it simple, but focus on the food.
Yeah.
Unless you see what her layout is.
And we're going to also stop by and look at the St. Joe open air.
We're going to look at St. Joe open air, and then we're going to go to Nakona and scout 42 miles there. That's
Perfect.
And then we'll be back home.
Perfect. So where are we getting lunch?
TBD.
TBD. Yeah.
I'll let you figure that out. How about that?
Okay.
And my treat.
Okay.
I don't even know what. Oh, actually. No. Yeah, it could work. The taco place at in Gainesville is really good.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, what were you about to say?
I was going to say, speaking of just my choice of places to eat, Friday, we worked like a dog. I forgot what all we were doing. I was cleaning windows and prepping for dinner and I changed the headlights and the fog lights on my truck. We were just going nonstop Friday. And finally, it was like 9 o'clock, 8:30 or something. And I looked at Paula and I go, we are not cooking tonight. And she goes, well, what are we going to eat? And I go, ooh, I got an idea. And so we loaded up in the truck and we went to Taco Casa. And we went to the one over off of Bonnie Bray and 380. And then we just pulled into the Kroger parking lot and sat there and just ate Taco Casa. And I drank a beer and it was like the most awesome date night. And even Paula was like, this was freaking awesome. And it was nothing special. But
right.
I was just like, this is as good as any like high class meal I could have had at this point. It was so good and just, it's Taco Casa.
It's Taco Casa.
But it was perfect. Perfect.
What'd Paula have?
Burrito, super burrito or whatever. And they call it a chili burger.
Yep.
They're little.
Yep.
So I call it a taco burger. They call it a chili burger for whatever reason. But fantastic.
I got a burrito place to take you in California when we're there.
I'm in. I saw you got your kitchen pass signed for California.
We are good to go.
I'm excited. Very excited.
Also along those lines, I have my radials on the way.
Oh yeah, what'd you go with?
Well, actually, so whatever you were looking at last week wasn't. It's only the gravity ones. Still.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I told you their website was a little hard to fish through.
Yeah. So none of those others were radials.
Oh, okay.
Is what it boiled down to.
So you got a Mary then?
I think it was the other one. I can't remember now.
The Gary?
I can't remember. It wasn't the Mary one. There was another one.
Betty?
I can't remember what it was.
You can't remember.
It's what Nico told me to get.
Yeah.
And my GX transmission as well.
Oh,
so
heck yeah.
We're gonna have the tributaries set up for proper scouting in California.
Heck and yeah. I think those radial tires are going to make a huge difference.
Would be interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I think for right now, the only application is an e-bike or like a gravity bike because there is a weight penalty on those. So, but I don't think you're going to even notice it on especially a class 3 bike, So.
And you won't either when I send you out on that to scout the sand.
Yeah.
I'll wait on the other end.
I'm in. I don't give a shit. I'm in. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go to California, period. Just better weather and good food.
We hope.
Yeah.
It's hotter than hell out there right now. They're like 110 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Paula went to San Francisco, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And she said they were having a heat spell. And the hotel that she was staying in didn't have air conditioner.
Oh, my.
And she's like, she went to the front desk. She's like, I can't find the air conditioner. And she's like, oh, we don't have air conditioner. she's like, but you have a window and a fan. And Paul's like, it's fucking hot outside. What are you saying?
I went to Seattle one August,
Yeah.
and it was a work trip, and I'm supposed to be there for 2 weeks of training, and they had a bona fide heat wave in Seattle, like 95 degrees.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, those news stories like when we go below freezing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's panicking, but the hotel didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's humid there too.
Yeah.
Very humid. So, yeah. I was telling Paula, I said, in a lot of these northern states and stuff, it's not uncommon for people to not have air conditioners. That's why when they had that heat wave in Chicago, all those people died, because they don't have air conditioning.
Right.
When I was in college for the brief stint, I was in college at Louisiana Tech. We had a guy that became a friend of mine that was from Michigan. His name was Gar, and he had an S10 that he had brought from Michigan that didn't have an AC. And I go, hey, buddy, you don't have AC in this truck? And he goes, you don't need it in Michigan. I go, you're going to die. You're going to die down here in Louisiana with no air conditioner come August. So I think they're changing their mind on conditioning their air, though, in a lot of those places.
Pretty much everywhere. Much everywhere is.
Yeah. Pretty
much everywhere is. We got to figure out something for Austin to go after this year. I mean, Rouge Roubaix, that's a nice scalp on the wall there.
That is pretty badass.
So what else could we throw into the mix?
I think perfect training for Doom next year would be for you to just buckle down right now and figure out the logistics of Race Across Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I think you should go head to head with Justin Carey, talk mad shit, and just put him in the ditch.
No, that's not how I am.
And then
I'm in stealth mode. I just go out there and do it.
Yeah,
and then all the drama.
Yeah, and then come Doom, you'll be like, I got this. You will have no doubts, no qualms, other than the climbing. There's a significant amount more of climbing compressed. I think there's more climbing in that 330 feet or 330 miles of Doom than there is in the entirety of Race Across Texas. Race Across Texas is 23, 26, something like that.
30, I think. But
Doom was about 30 as well. Yeah, 33 or something.
Yeah. So I think that's a decent plan. Or, I mean, because you need more bike packing endurance style events. And unless you go to something like AZT, which is more single track, I think it's almost exclusively single track. And then there's that big hiccup where you have to dismantle your bike and tires can't touch, and you have to make the trek across the canyon. That's a big logistical nightmare too. But I think
the AZT trail itself that's a tough trail.
Yeah. Or Colorado Trail Race, that's 540 miles, but that's significant elevation and at elevation. So I think Race Across Texas would be a good one to break it off.
Too late in the year to do ACT, aren't we?
I can't remember when ACT goes off. I want to say it's October-ish.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds all right. Right when the heat breaks.
Yeah. I think Race Across Texas would be a good one for you.
Thanks.
You
need to try it.
Yeah, I should try it. Yeah. That's really what I want to work up to. My riding has just fallen off.
Yeah.
I have.
So what do we got to do to get you back on a routine of riding?
I need to get some stuff off my plate so I can focus on riding. But as soon as I get my coolers installed and get that kind of squared away and get that room set up the way I want it to, I'm convicted to start my everyday riding again.
No, don't do that. That's easy.
I just put my spin bike out on the street, and my neighbor immediately came over here. Hey, is this up for grabs? I said, yeah, please take it. And so he took it immediately. I mean, it was there for 20 minutes. So Paul was like, you're just going to push it to the street? I go, yeah, it'll disappear. I promise you. And literally 20 minutes later, he's like, hey, Brad, is this? Yep, take it. Nice. So nice. It's out of my hair. So, but I'm going to get back to riding every day, heat acclimation. I think this is one of the things I want to talk to you about. I think, in retrospect, now that I've had time to digest and think about Race Across Texas, I have to admit I didn't have any polarized training going into it. I was not doing any kind of intervals or anything. I just thought, if I just ride zone 2 every day and I put in, 16, 18 hours a week, I should be good to go. And I think that's where I ran into trouble. I think I didn't stay in zone 2 on day 1, obviously. And
That's where you ran into
And then
trouble.
the heat
Sure.
became another factor. And,
Your
everything
16
else.
to 18 hours of zone 2, that would have been fine if that's how you would have ridden
Yeah.
from the first pedal stroke,
Yeah.
day 1 and day 2.
But my workload was going to be quadruple anyways going into Race
Understood.
Across Texas.
Understood.
But are you still entertaining the thought of taking off from Texarkana and going to
Clarksville.
Clarksville first day?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were talking about the 41 mile, wherever that one was.
Well, that we could potentially do that. It kind of accomplishes the same thing.
Okay.
So it shortens that first day
Yeah.
by, if we go to Clarksville instead of Paris, I think it shortens it by like 30 miles.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
But we had talked about, because the first day was like 141 miles. or
Yeah, so
something.
the way we used to do it was we would start the party pace group from New Boston on Saturday morning, where
Yeah.
they would come in from Texarkana to New Boston on their own schedule Friday.
Yeah.
Because some people were taking the train, some people were dropping off in the mornings. So, and that shortens it by like 40 miles if you do it that way.
And that's what I would like, me personally, that's what I would like to see. That way you have a warm-up day, kind of a pre-ride
Sure.
shakedown, and then you're already 40 miles into the route. And so when you wake up on
We
Saturday,
could still potentially do
Yeah.
that. I may,
because that turns your first day into a century instead of 141 miles.
right, and stopping in Clarksville does the same thing. And I say that is because I've had people from Clarksville reach out to me wanting to work together on something.
Okay.
But Paris, we have a fantastic relationship with them
Yeah.
too. That's something I'm going to sort out in the next few weeks.
Paris was super cool rolling into and that whole situation, except for the entertainment.
Well, that was
and
and quite frankly, that was the other part of it. Was the last couple times we've overnighted in Paris. What we went through last year was the worst one, but
Yeah.
we've run into that a couple times, and
Yeah.
it's nothing against Paris. It's a popular spot
Sure.
on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Is what it boils
Yeah,
down
and I
to.
get it, and I'm happy for them. It wasn't ideal conditions
It's
as far
not
as
the
we were
best
concerned.
rest.
Yeah, it was definitely wasn't. But
Any other time it'd be awesome, right?
yeah, yes.
Not when you need to sleep though.
Oh yeah, we set up tents like right next to the pavilion. Not pavilion. What is that?
It's a pavilion.
Yeah, but a huge like
It's a giant pavilion.
with an outdoor basketball court and stuff. And they had this huge boom box playing music, and they had kids playing games and all kinds of stuff. And they didn't wrap up till 10 o'clock ish. And we were there at like 6
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We were ready to kick back and everyone go to sleep by 7:30 sort
Yeah.
of thing. And
yeah, and it didn't happen like that.
it's all good.
But if we did the New Boston depart and we left out of New Boston, we'd be there, hours earlier.
Hours earlier.
And we could probably get set up maybe a little bit more remote area, further away from that pavilion, and get some better rest altogether. So
Understood.
whether it's Clarksville or New Boston, whatever the plan is.
Well,
So
yeah, I don't, that's definitely on the to-do list in the near term. So
yeah.
end of April, I should have that nailed down.
Okay.
Is the expectation.
any
Do you think
interest?
you're gonna do it again this year?
I want to. I want to tick it off. I really wanted to do it one time and just say, okay, I've done it.
Sure.
Because
It's a hard thing to do.
it is, especially
Hard thing to do.
for
Big-
someone that's like mediocre level like me,
Oh,
I mean,
it's a hard thing for anybody.
I think the mental aspect is really big,
It's
That's the main thing.
it's almost all mental. If you
Even-
have
Even with you, is mental. You went out too hard. That's a mental thing.
Yeah.
You didn't have the capacity to slow down, right?
Yeah.
Or you could have, or maybe it was Caleb that you were chasing Caleb around.
he was riding with Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Kayla was
and he's stronger than
way more prepared than I was. Yeah.
So yeah, mentally you should have said, "Okay, Caleb, you go do your thing. I'll see you in
Yeah.
Paris or
Yeah.
wherever you guys were going."
Yeah. Yeah, in retrospect, there's a lot of things I should have done differently.
But ultimately, it's the mental logistics, for lack of a better term, of the rat that is the stumbling block for most of the people that don't. It's not a physical limitation.
Yeah.
You just don't know how to prepare mentally for the day after day after day of it.
Yeah.
And and particularly because almost everybody, it just ends up riding by themselves the whole time.
Sure.
So if you're riding by yourself for 120 miles each day and you get in that rhythm and you get in that cadence and all of a sudden something starts working in your head.
I got to go faster, or I got to go slower,
or
I need to eat more.
I need to eat more. Is the business falling apart?
Yeah.
Or, gee, I sure do miss Paula, or whatever else.
Yeah.
And it just starts gnawing in the back of your head.
Yeah. I think it's the mental factor is huge. But
Yeah, you got to prepare that. You got to prepare your body for it.
yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Not
You did pretty good. You did a pretty good job preparing last year, but it could be better. It could definitely be more optimized.
Yeah. And
for
that's
the
what
way
I want to start bulking up my riding and just get back to riding every day. And then once that's locked down, then I want to start putting in some training blocks in there, and doing, some higher efforts, some longer efforts, and some, polarized training, intervals or whatever that looks like, just so I have broadened my heart rate range and everything else,
Yep.
But
What's the longest you've done?
Longest ride I've done is 22 hours.
Okay.
what was the
That was the Triple Crown race.
mileage on that?
Just 180.
Yeah. My longest is 208.
So you haven't done any multi-day stuff?
No. Longest distance I've done is, I think, 202.
Okay.
But it was road. It was only 10 hours.
Yeah.
I just rode from here to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. I remember when y'all did that. Yeah.
I've done that a
Adam
couple
cracked.
times. Yeah, Adam
Yeah.
cracked. It was
100
one of the-
degrees.
Yeah, one of the first hot days.
Yeah.
And the tailwind wasn't all we thought it was going to be. It ended up being just a crosswind all day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we were going a little slower than we expected.
So what about Unbound? What's keeping you from doing Unbound?
Just desire.
Yeah.
Just don't really have
200
the
miles
desire.
of gravel doesn't interest you?
Not that it doesn't interest me. I just haven't really had any motivation to go out there.
Yeah. It's a great ride.
Yeah.
It's a cool atmosphere, great town to start out of. Super remote. It's I mean, the lack of everything is what makes it so cool. I mean, there's no fences, no trees, just rolling grass hills, nice gravel, pretty well organized event,
That's an understatement.
Yeah. But I was going to say that would be a great ride for you to just go and dominate. There's a lot of tactics at that level now.
Yeah,
too.
especially now.
Yeah.
I think the last couple of years it's finished in like a 10 or 15 guy sprint.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
tactical it is.
And it's crazy how much the time just keeps coming down and coming down. I remember the year I did it, the last year I did it, 2012, I think was the first year that they broke 12 hours, and now they're down to 9 hours and something.
Yeah.
And that was
Would you be able to get into the pro field there? How does that work if you're not
I've got no idea.
part of the?
You're not
Grand
gonna like me
Prix.
saying this, Kevin, but I've considered just bandit-ing it, just going to jump in the pro field.
There's been people that have done that.
Yeah.
So
I've considered it.
Yeah, that might be.
I
But how does that work? Well, what happens hypothetically? You jump into the pro category, and you ride with the front group, and you sprint, finish, win.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
You
You just don't win.
I get an interview at the end asking who are you?
you catch so much.
That would be
shit,
so.
I know, but
cool.
then I've got the opportunity to say, well, gravel's for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. It's the spirit of
It's
gravel.
the spirit of gravel. Isn't it?
That would be. I would appreciate it. It would piss a lot of people off,
It would piss off so many people.
but it would be super cool if you literally just broke away 10 miles out and dropped everybody and finished solo. And then people are like, who is this? Who's this guy? That would be
As much as I would love for you to be flying Spinistry colors for that, that would probably be the straw. That would,
yes.
that would break the camel's back there.
The small town sheriff would be talking to me.
You don't think that would piss him off, do you? Wear his Can't Do Contest jersey. Oh, shit.
Give him a ShiftLess tattoo.
Yeah.
That's what we would do.
Yeah.
Got that.
Man. Well, so What do you have anything on your radar that
I think he's being coy.
I think so too, but do you have anything that you've even entertained that would probably help you to prepare for Doom next year? Because what I heard just a minute ago is you were underprepared, and not just because you got sick, but
No, physically, I think I was prepared to ride my best ride.
okay,
But just
illness
with all the logistics on the stops and refills and stuff,
Yeah.
I was kind of just winging it because I didn't go through the maps or anything.
Okay. So you're saying if you hadn't have felt ill, you would have been more researched and more ready from the tactical aspect of it. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
physically I was there.
Okay.
I was ready to win.
You need to come do the distance, and have Steph park the van at our overnight spot. You can just go through there twice
Mhm.
and resupply on your own and just kill it.
Yeah.
Or you could do the short. What's the Rat 350? Are you doing that this coming year or this year?
The Rat 350.
The mini Rat?
Mini Rat. Well, I mean, mini Rat is you go as far on the Rat as you want to.
Oh,
So
okay.
So
I thought it was a 350-mile route.
at one point we had it that way where you start in Texarkana and it finishes in DFW, but
Oh, okay.
everybody, it's another one of those things where you can never get everybody. Well, I think I want to go actually 3 days. Oh, I don't want to go 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I want to do 4 days.
So it's just to choose your own adventure.
That's what that one's turned into.
So the full route's 500?
1,000.
Oh, 1,000?
Yeah.
Rat 1000's
No, 1,000.
might be a little more.
It's like 1,040 or something, isn't it?
No, it's right at 1,000 right now, but
Okay.
I found some new stuff above Nakona that we're going to reroute to, because we lost some of the gravel to pavement.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of why I'm doing what I call these rat loops, or what are going to be the USA loops. It gives me the opportunity to put on events on sections of the rat or the USA trail, and I get to stay on top of it. So, oh, hey, we've lost some dirt here. Let's reroute a little bit.
And then it adds a few miles here or there.
Yeah. And sometimes we'll lose mileage. Like as they build out the net, maybe we'll lose some of our,
A little more direct.
yeah. So,
How is the net doing? Have you been over there recently?
It's a piece by piece. I mean, some of it's pristine. Other parts are
and there's no way to
Under
know in
construction.
advance what
Which
intersection may be
No.
like.
it's-
But if you wanted to just go out there and hit it out and back and let us know,
yeah,
Bring my machete.
it's in
you can make your way around.
it's in decent shape. But there's places that you would want a bigger tire because it gets thick in places, especially outside of Paris. Between is it Farmersville?
From starts in Farmersville to Paris is
Yeah.
the Chaparral Trail end of it.
Yeah, so maybe the last 20 miles outside of Paris, there's a lot of bridge crossings, and that the crushed granite or whatever
Yeah,
top dressing they
the
use,
ballast.
gets a little thick in places. Like if you were on your 35 tires, you'd be hating life.
Well, and that's how basically what Hell of North Texas this year is going to be. I think it's 125 miles, the full route. Basically, it's going to do all of the net between Clarksville and Roxton,
Mhm.
and then the county roads to make
Yeah.
a full loop of it, so
Awesome.
you're not out
Hard.
and back.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
So, I mean, even though it's flat because of the ballast and the aggregate, you're going uphill the whole time,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, it's like running in sand. But that'd be a tough race. 130, you said?
125, 130 for the long one. Yeah, that'll be
My money's on Austin.
That's April 18th on that one.
Hmm.
I need to start talking that up. Then we'll have April 25th. We'll have our pie ride with the fam dinner.
Mhm.
Okay, so if we're not doing a full fam thing, it's 9 courses. I mean, what, 4 courses, 5 courses, something?
Let's go see what Betty Joe has.
I understand, but just loosely to make a dining experience
How
of it,
many people are we thinking?
somewhere between 30 and 50 is my guess.
I think we probably do 3 courses and pie.
3
I mean,
courses. and
obviously,
pie,
we're going to integrate pie into the menu.
obviously.
And we do, I don't know, like I mean, I'm just spitballing here, but we do a couple of heavy apps. Maybe we do a communal cheese board or something to start because everybody's not going to show up at the same time. And then we have heavy app, like maybe a dual entree or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out. We'll figure
But
it out.
something
Tomorrow.
along those lines, you know.
We'll meet up with Betty Joe tomorrow, and then while we're driving around looking at roads, we
I
can
don't
spitball
think
it.
I'm gonna have any of my own cured meat by that time.
Okay.
That'll be a little tight window.
Depending on delivery today.
I still haven't heard back.
You may never have
Oh.
cured meat.
Yeah. Well, the good news is I have a freezer that I still haven't paid for.
Well, there
So,
is that.
If they don't ever make
Yeah.
it back, I've got a free freezer.
Yep. They gotta
So-
come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I built a kegerator years ago with a similar temperature controller
Yeah.
you're using. I'm sure didn't have to control humidity with it, but
Yeah. Oh, this may be them calling me right now. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Hello. Okay. What's your ETA? 38 minutes. Thank you, sir. All right. You too, brother.
nice. I made pretty good time down there.
That was timely.
There we go. Well, tell you what, that sounds like a good place to wrap
Yeah,
it up.
sure.
And
You're gonna have cured meat sooner than you thought.
Well, assuming they brought the right coolers.
Don't speak too soon.
Yeah.
any last words or thoughts, Austin?
No, we covered a pretty good amount. Oh, we didn't talk about Chainring Massacre. That was a good race. We don't need to go into it. It
It was a good race because you won.
was a good race because I won.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it breaks
That's
down.
always a good race. Good venue.
Yeah.
They had the the food court open.
Yeah.
Some beers in the bar.
Did you have the tacos there?
I did not have
Okay.
tacos.
Okay.
I used my tokens on beers.
Tokens on beers. Man, I gave you a bunch of tokens.
Oh, well, I handed a bunch out too. I
I
stood there. I just stood there for a while and handed them out.
So that
Everyone seemed happy at the end.
That-
Everybody I handed tokens out to. So I'm excited
that
a
that
bit.
that venue works, and
Works.
there's gonna be more of it. We're actually going back there in May. What's his name? Jonas Nordic Trailblazer. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah.
He reached out to me and wanted to do another May ride to help people get ready for Unbound.
Oh, that's cool.
So the folks up there at 35 and Liberty and 30, whatever they call it.
Bob's tractor.
Yeah, Bob's Tractor, Tractor Bob's. That's what it is. They said they would host us there again. So we're putting together a ride with Jonas and his crew and doing the Nortex heat training race or something. We have a name for it. I
Yeah.
can't remember. But then we will be back there for Texas Chainring Massacre next year as well. And they're adding more stuff to it every day. I think the pizza place is open now, but I'm not sure.
But not Sabaro. It's just
I
pizza
think
place.
it's a pizza. I think it's a pizza place.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll find out tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe.
You got a lot to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's going to be busy tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's going to be busy tomorrow. All right. Send us off in the appropriate fashion, Bradford.
And go ride your bike.